Yes, recording is started also, and I just checked the chat window. Okay, so we reached here that for the records management, let's see, start from here, how to publish the retention labels. This process is not very complicated, but to publish the labels, we will need to create a retention policy. We will see it, and the steps are given here. I'm just going through quickly and telling you the summary, then we will create that practically, that how we do all these steps. And when the retention labels become available to apply, it takes some time. It says here the Microsoft says, however, allow up to 7 days, that when we publish the labels, maybe it takes some time to be available to our users to apply those labels, but usually it doesn't take so long, maybe half an hour, sometimes even quickly. When I was just uh, last time doing, then it was maybe after a couple of minutes I was able to use the label. But I was just using in the SharePoint, in Exchange, and in the cloud and the other services, it probably will take long time. Okay, so how it works, this is a little summary also, that first of all, process number one, in one day, that labels published to the label. First of all, we have to create the labels. When we create the labels, then we publish the labels in a label policy, retention policy, and labels appear. Then next step, the labels policy is synchronized to the locations, for which locations we have created that policy. And then labels appear in OneDrive and SharePoint typically within 1 to 2 days, and labels appear in Outlook within 7 days. Microsoft says that mailbox needs at least 10 megabyte of data available for the labels. If the labels doesn't appear, then we can see the status also, but I hope so that everything will be fine and labels will appear. These are some commands that we can see the status of the labels, and also if we want to use labels on other locations, then we will need some commands also. Those are here. You guys can read those commands and just copy and then use them also. Here are the commands to check the retention labels that we have created from the commands, with the commands. How to apply published retention labels, then we can go to the documents and select the labels, whichever we want to select, and once the labels are available, then we can apply them to the documents. We will practice that also shortly. We can manually apply that retention labels, or we can define other policies to apply the labels automatically also. We can apply the labels in Outlook also, but we will practice just in SharePoint, and then remaining I leave for the students. But the process is almost the same. In the Outlook folder, we can also apply a default retention label to the whole folder, and similarly in the SharePoint also, we can apply a default label to the entire document library also. Here are the rules, that what will happen if we change the label or if we move the objects, what will happen, we can study here. On the web is a little different. Some rules and methods are given here. You guys can study that. Applying retention labels on OneDrive and SharePoint. In the SharePoint, we will do today for our practice, and the remaining we will leave. And in the SharePoint, but not in the OneDrive, we can create a view also of the library that contains the labels column. And then we can see which labels are there. We can use groups also to assign the labels. You guys can read it here. Applying default retention labels to all content in a SharePoint library, folder, or document. Yes, we can do that also. We select the properties of the library and then we can select a label. We will see that. Here we can see the rules. We can do automatic implementation of labels, automatically apply a retention label to email by using the rules. We can do that also. And we can apply automatically labels to the documents also, SharePoint documents that we will see today. And we can update also retention labels and their policies. And we can delete also, but deleting retention labels we should do with caution. And we can also lock the policy to prevent the changes. And next step, we can monitor the retention labels, or we can using intent search to find all contents with a specific retention label. And we can also start auditing retention actions. These are the next topics. As I have stated before, if I have not included here, like for example, if I just include the topic title here, I'm not going to include it into any information that I will not click on and go to the website and then get the questions from there for our final exam. No, I will just take the information whatever I have included on the site on my slides, so you guys will find it easy. Okay, so how we actually perform that? Create the labels. First of all, the step will be to create the labels. We will go to our main page, then we can go to admin, then we can go to our all admin centers, and in that on the compliance, this is the new name. Previous years the name was a little different. Sometimes it was security plus compliance, something like that, but now it is compliance that we can see, and we have a long list of information management systems that we can perform the tasks, but probably we will not have to test all of them, but the one we are testing today. And then we click on the which of those information governance, protection, no, information barrier, no, information, no, let me go there and see governance, I believe. Okay, so this is our main page. We can just start. So we know we go to admin and then we reach here, this page. Here we see the SharePoint or all admin centers, and then we reach here. In all admin centers, we will see and we will reach on compliance. I believe it's somewhere here. This one, yeah. This is another process that was starting here. Yeah, this page will be the starting page of the process, all admins, and then in that we click on compliance, and in the compliance we will click on the information governance. So information governance, we have all these things that we will see. Of course today we cannot see all of them, But first of all, we will start from label policy, sorry, labels. From labels, we will start, we will create a label. These are retention labels. We will see the retention means that I have already explained that how long we want to keep a document, and then we will delete it automatically or we will send it for review. And first of all, we create the label. I have created already two. I create one more to show you the process. Let's create a label. When we click on it, first of all, we have to enter a name. That's retention label. This time I want to create, sorry, it takes like this. Let's say for 5 years. It's just the name, but of course in that inside we will define these rules. We can write descriptive information here. So we go to next page. We are starting creating our retention label. Here says the 7, we can click into 5, or we can choose also the 7, 10, custom, any number of years. 5 years. Start retention period from where? When the item was created. Okay. Create new event? No. Delete item automatically? No. We want to, of course, we can set it if we like, if our organization is requiring that. But I feel the safest is trigger a disposition review. So the review will be started, document will go for review, and the first reviewer, there can be 5 stages. First reviewer can say it, okay, we want to keep it, that's it, and will not go to the next reviewer. But if it says, okay, we want to delete it, then it will go to the next stage. Next reviewer can say, we want to delete it, then it will go to the third one if we want to keep that sequence. If not, whichever stages we want to keep, we can keep it. Trigger the disposition review. Do nothing? No. Retain items forever. Only delete items when they are reached a certain age. No, we are just using this one. And don't retain or delete items. So we can click next. And add disposition reviewers. How many stages we want to? Let's see, just for test, we create 2 stages. Add a stage. Del stage 1 or 2. I'm just saving it for next use. Okay. And we want to add a reviewer in it. Reviewers for this stage. I'm just keeping it. Let's say, first of all, we send to our global admin. So global admin, this one is global admin 3. Okay, whichever. We have 4 global admins. But let's say we send it to global admin 3. And this will be the stage 1. Then we add another stage. If he says it's okay for delete, then we go into del stage 2 of 2. Okay. And the stage is added. Now we need another reviewer who will check in this stage where we will send, where system will send this document for the review. Remember, after 5 years that we have set that 5 years, after 5 years of creation, the system automatically will send this to the reviewer 1, stage 1. If he says okay to delete, then system will send it to stage 2 reviewer. Let's say I add MS, you add your name. This will be second reviewer. We can add 5. Systems add until up to 5 stages. See, 1 to 5 stages we can add. Of course, it's good. See, like it's a legal company or it's a medical record or whichever record. All the records are important. Company knows that how important are those, but still we need to review that. Like after 5 years, some information may be so old that we don't need it anymore. But if we still need it, we keep it. If it's okay to delete, we delete it. But this is a continuous ongoing process that should be in all the organizations. Otherwise, the information will pile up so much that it will be, after a couple of years, maybe let's say 20 years, it will be difficult to manage, or it needs lot of resources. just for the information that maybe we even don't need. Okay, so the next stage, next step, just review and finish. This is the creation of the new label, create label. We click on the create label and it's submitted for creating. Soon it will be created. We can take the picture and then we can say that our label is created. Meanwhile, we can go through the pages. We have gone through this page. We have started label creation. We have given the names. We have added the stages and review and finish. And we should see a similar page like this. Your retention label is created. You will also see similar page and then you can take a picture. Here will be your name. Here will be shown your retention label is created. This will be your picture number 8 for the today's assignment, and the title will be for this picture, new retention label is created. New retention label is created. Let me go back and see if the process is completed. Not now, not yet, but soon it will be completed. It doesn't take very long time, but sometimes it takes a bit of time. I just take a sip of tea. It's taking time. Maybe internet busy, or yeah, it's done. Your retention label is created. So we take a picture of this page and keep it for our assignment. New. This is first step of creation of the labels for the records management. And we go to our assignment, we go to our slides, PowerPoint slides, and I keep this second picture example. This will be our picture number 8. New retention label is created. Process is very easy. You guys can perform it yourself on your sites. I believe everybody will be able to do it. Let me ask in the chat window, any student voluntarily can tell me if they are performing along with me. Are they able to complete it? Let me ask in the chat window. Question is, any student was able to create a retention label? Any student, please volunteer that tell me. Any student was able to create a retention label? Just in the chat window, you guys can write yes or no, whoever is able to create the retention label. This process is very easy. I believe students are performing with me. Nobody is saying anything yet. Maybe still it's taking time. You guys are taking time to create the retention label. The process is very easy. Nobody is saying anything. Maybe I go through the process once again. Okay, let me go through the process once again. Just a couple of the steps, very easy. How we started. Now I will just start from the scratch. From the scratch means I just start from the beginning where we log in and how we reach there. So then I will ask the question. Let's see if the students are able to perform it along with me. Okay, so how we start this practice. I'm just minimizing or just closing this window, and then I will start once again. One label is created. We have to perform, of course, the publishing the next level, but I'm performing this level once again, just from starting process. When we log in, we reach here. Here we click on admin. I click on admin. Before I just went to the previous tabs, but now I'm clicking on actually, so show you how this works step by step, everything. We click on, this is Microsoft Admin Center. I click on show all, and then we can click on compliance. It will automatically go to the new tab, compliance. In the compliance, we have lot of information. And in that one, we click on the information governance, right click and open it in a new tab, governance. And system is starting, and soon we will be here. You can see overview, and the system says no retention labels detected. Where are our retention labels that we have created? We will see the list in the labels. I hope so. Okay, but this is the system where we will start. In 3-4 steps, we are reached here, and then we want to create a new label. We click on the labels and see in the list. We will see, yes, we have labels here. See, this one right now we have created for 5 years. So this is our new label that we have created right now on 8:36 p.m. See, that's 8:41 now. So we have created it on 8:36 p.m. just a couple of minutes before. We have created this retention label. Let me create just one more retention label right now to show you the process once again from the scratch, and then we will continue our next steps for that level. I'm just going to create a label. Click on very easy, very simple procedure, create label, give the name retention label. This time I want to create for, let's say, before it was 10 years, let's say 12 years. I believe in 12 years there are so much information changes that some documents for sure will be needed for deletion, will be ready for deletion in 12 years. For example, like say tax purposes, I believe the tax purposes, Government of Canada is only, they require 7 years to keep our records. For example, but there will be anything that in real life we need some things for some years, but after that we don't need to, so we can delete them. In retention, there are two important things. One, to keep those documents. When we apply a label, we will test it that we will not be able to delete the document right away. If somebody try to delete, it will, system will say, no, we cannot, because there is a label on it that wants to retain this document for this many years. So this is like really powerful feature. Okay, so we make the same retention label for 12 years. This is just the name, but inside we will give the parameters, the values for 12 years. Here we can write information, but I'm just keeping the same and then clicking on next. 7 years is default, the selected here, but we can keep custom this time, and number of years, 12 years. 12 years, this much month, this much days, even we can fine grain. Custom and start the retention period based on item were created. When the items were created, delete this automatically? No. Trigger a disposition review. So we click on next and we add the stages. Deletion stage 1. Let's say this time we create 3 stages because we want to delete it this time 3 stages. Deletion stage of 1 of 3. Okay. Stage is added. Now we need the reviewer. Global admin. Global admin 3. Global admin. Okay, this time we keep all global admins. First global admin will be admin 3 in the stage 1. If he says delete it, then it will go to global admin 2, add another stage. Stage 2 of 3. Okay. And when it goes to stage 2 of 3, we want to send it to review to global admin 2. It goes to global admin 2. If he says, yes, we can delete it, stage number 3, we send it to global admin 3. Sorry, 1. 3, 2, 1. So then it goes to global admin 1. And if he says, yes, delete, then we can delete that item. global admin 1. So global admin 3, global admin 2, global admin 1. Stage 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 stages, then we click next. Everything is ready. We can create the label. Click on create and soon it will be created. We can take this picture, this page also as a picture of our submitting, or our system is ready for the label creation. Yes, your retention label is created already. So we can take the picture of this one. It will not show us the details of the label. We can go back and click on and add it, I believe, and can see the details, or take the picture of the page when we reach on the end before clicking the create, or we can just take the picture of this page. Of course, here it will show you the name, your name, and we can click even on done here, and then we can choose label to publish. It's saying choose label to publish. Yes, of course, we have to do this stage also, this step also. But before that, I want to make a picture of the system to show that we have created a label. Maybe I can click on information governance, open in a new tab, and see if I can see the newly created labels. Yes, the label is created, and I can click on it. I believe edit, publish label, auto apply label, explore items, explore activity, delete the label. Okay, if we click on this, what we have here, we can edit also. See, edit the label. So we can go here, and on any step, we can go and then we can review and finish. So here we have all the details. We can edit them, or we can just take a picture, and we are good to save it, because we want to take a picture of new retention label is created, either this page or the final page that we are right now. So I will take that picture also and save it here as a sample also. So if that page is not saved, you can save this page. Of course, here will be your username, and this page also shows that. Even before that, list also shows that retention label is created. Okay, so this is another sample picture. This is picture number 8. New retention label is created. New retention label is created. And I just see, have a look at that. Yes, recording is working, mic is working, and participants are here in the chat window. Let me go there and ask now, any student able to create the retention label? Let me ask them once again if anybody is able to. Oh, nobody is creating. Okay, students, any student can volunteer to tell me that if he or she was able to create the retention label. Now we have gone through 2 times from this process. Very easy process, straightforward, just 3-4 steps, and we are able to create. Yes, Fardeen says yes, they were able to create the label. Thank you very much. Any more students will like to volunteer to tell me that yes? Sivesh says yes, you are able to create. Any more students? Anyone else was able to create the label quickly? Okay, we go to the next stage. When we create the label, then system automatically also asks us to publish it. After creating, we need to publish it so others can use it. So just on this same page, or if we are gone from this page, we can click on the label, and then we can click on the publish, and the process will be started. To publish a label, we need to create a policy. But actually, when the label is published, the policy is created automatically. how the process will work. We just go there, edit label. We have not done any editing, just we wanted to create a picture. So I cancel it and say you want to cancel, yes. And here we are with our new label. We can click on these three dots and here is publish the label. We can click on the publish. Now this is the next step, and at the end of the step we will also take a picture. Choose a label to publish. Yes, this label is we want to publish. 12 years. Keep and review and delete. Next. Here is very important information. We want to create an adaptive retention policy, or we want to create a static retention policy. Static retention policy is easy, is simple. Adaptive is a little bit more. We have one more procedure in it. Let's see, first of all, first time we create static policy. What is the difference? You will choose locations containing the content you want to retain yourself. If locations change after the policy is created, for example, if the SharePoint site is added or removed, you will need to manually update the policy. This is the difference. In adaptive, we actually create the rules that which site we want to include into this policy. So let's go on static first, and then we will also go for adaptive. If we have time this time or next time. Next. Here we see choose the locations. All locations includes content in Exchange, email, Office 365 groups, OneDrive, and SharePoint documents. All of them we want to use this policy, or we want to say, let me choose specific locations. For our simplicity, we click on choose specific locations and we exclude all of them. We just leave SharePoint. Because right now we are just using on SharePoint, and then later we will see if we want to the similar process. We can, if we like, we can use for all these things the same policy. But right now let's focus on SharePoint sites. And then we click next. Here still we leave all sites. We'll see later. Enter a unique name. This is name for the policy. As I told you, when the label will be published, a policy will be created. Sorry. Policy name. So this is a retention policy. Retention policy. That was for a label that will keep the documents for 12 years. Let's give the simple name, retention policy, 12 years. Then we know some of the details. If we will later add details, we can come back here and change in the name. Next. And it will take up to 1 day for labels to appear to your users. Labels will appear. Yeah, okay. Microsoft says it takes 1 day, no problem. We see what happens. If it comes available quickly, it's fine. If not, then we will, of course, check it back on in our next class. The policy says 12 years retention, keep 12 years, review, delete. Can be applied to all sites. Name of the policy is retention policy 12 years. Description, we submit. Here we can take the picture also that our policy is ready. Let me see which picture is here. So we can take the similar picture. There are many ways to show that we have created a policy and we have submitted, we have published a label. Here we will show that retention label is published successfully. Yeah, this will be the next step. When we click yes or publish or whatever, then we will show this. Submit, then we can wait. Submitting will take a little time, then the label will be published. The actual process was we were publishing our label. In between, we needed to create the policy also. Yes, our retention label is published. we take a picture and save it for our assignment. Here will be our username. And title for this picture will be new retention label is published successfully. We know that we got this message that your retention label was published successfully. So this will be another picture. So our retention label is published successfully. And after that, system also suggests related tasks. So this is our picture number 9. New retention label is published successfully. We have a couple of tasks yet to complete, and I would like to take a break because this is 8:56, so almost another hour. This time may be less because we started break after the hour last time. So recording is how long is now? 36 minutes. Okay, we can continue a little bit more, and then after that we'll take a break. Mic is working, everything looks fine. We can continue a little bit more. And we see this was our picture number 9. And it shows that new retention label is published successfully. Okay, so next what we'll do, we can create, remember we created a policy that was not adaptive policy, that was a static policy. So we can create an adaptive policy also. So if we want to create an adaptive policy, I have not included that pages here, but we can start we can create a label and then we can start, or for our existing labels, we can start then either we can start just to create a policy, or we can just start publishing a label, and then it will ask us to start an adaptive policy, and then one more procedure it will be in between, and then we will be able to create a adaptive policy. And how we do that? Let's just go back to our site. Here we can see publish another retention label, or auto apply a retention label. This we have not covered yet. Or create a retention label. Create a retention label. Let's just quickly create another retention label, and this time we will create a policy that will be a adaptive policy, not the static policy, but the adaptive policy. How we can do that? Even I believe we can change the label or policy, but quickly we can create the new one also. Publish another, auto apply, create a retention label. Let's click on create a retention label. Get started. It is good process. Enter a friend name, retention label, this time we create for 15 years, any number of years, 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever we like. For example, it's 3 years is not even bad. Like, it depends upon the usage. Like for some documents, maybe they are already outdated after 3 years. So we are creating this time our retention label for 3 years, and we will ask the system to ask us after 3 years that if the document is able to possible to delete, or we want to keep, we can do that, whatever we like after 3 years. depending upon the scenario of our company. Okay. Next here, custom 3 years from the time when the documents was created. Automatically delete, no, trigger the disposition. Next, create the stage. Let's say this time we just create one stage. If the person wants to delete it, delete it. If he wants to review, then he reviews and see. Del stage 1 of 1. Okay. And reviewer MS. You write your name in this one. I'm writing my name. So we ask the owner just to review it. If the document is ready to delete, delete it. Or if you want to keep it, just keep it. Okay, and we go to next. Just want to quickly create the label. So we create the label. Now the system knows we are creating the labels quickly. So it has created quickly. Now the system asks us, publish this label or auto-apply this label or do nothing. Okay, we click on publish. And this time we will create a adaptive policy. This label, yes, 3 years label. Next, adaptive. Now we'll leave on adaptive. We will see the process. Next, and in this one, what is the new? We have to add a scope. Adaptive, we have to add a scope. In the static, we don't need to add a scope. Just we give the rules directly over there where what we want to do. All the sites, okay, all the sites, that's it. Or if we want to select some sites, we can select over there or whatever. But in this one, we have to give a scope. We have to create a rule that which sites this policy will be using will be. So add scope, we have to create a new scope. Here we don't have any. Yes, we have one scope, that is retention adaptive scope 7 years, but I don't want to use this one. I will create a scope with you. So to show you the process, how we create the scope. Here we don't have yet. So what I do, I just go back, click here, and I will duplicate this or clone this tab and create a scope because we don't see any scope here. So just this one we have to go back here. In the next tab, I am going here I will create a scope. How we can do that? When we clone, we reach here on the main page and see here we have adaptive scopes. So we can create a new scope here. Click here. I have one for 7 years. I will create now for 3 years. Just to show you the process. Scope. Years. How we want to scope users or SharePoint sites or Microsoft 365 groups. We click on SharePoint sites because we want to deal with SharePoint sites first of all and see the process, and of course the other process will be very similar. SharePoint sites, we want to create the rule, we want to create the scope for SharePoint sites. Next, add a property. This property means how we want to which sites we want to use these. Just sample, like example property. Which property? Site name. Okay. Site name is equal to. Here we don't have contain. Otherwise, I would like to use that. Is equal to or is not equal to or starts with or not starts with. So I click on starts with, and I know some of my sites are starting with names like this. Site for week 11. Remember this one. So a site for week 11, then it will be only one site. I just write a site for week blah blah blah. So now whichever site is starting with this name like this, they can use this policy just to show the functionality. We can also click on Advanced Query Builder, but we don't need to create very complicated rules. Just one rule. Site name starts with a site for week. We know this is our site. I can show you somewhere here that site has this name. See, a site for week 11, a site for week 10, a site for week 9. All these sites will be able to, they'll be using this policy. Okay. So we were here, scope, and we were here creating the scope. Okay. Quick summary, site title starts with a site for week, and then next whatever there will be. Okay, we click next. Rules are there. Now we review and finish. Name, scope 3 years, description, scope 3 years, type, site, query summary, site title starts with a site for week. Okay. Submit, and our scope will be created, and we will then use this scope for our adaptive policy. Yeah, your scope was created. I believe we will get a picture to show that our scope is created. See, these are the pages that we have completed. Name your adaptive policy scope. Yes, we have given that, and we have given this page, like this page, and review and finish. And your scope was created will be our picture number 10. I just go back, take the picture. This is our picture number 10. Title will be New Scope for Retention Policies is successfully created. And this is one sample example. I'm just giving you another example. It will look like this, almost similar. The name of the scope is not given here somewhere, but we can go to the list and see the scope also created over there. But we can keep this page also that shows your scope was created. Here will be your name to show that you have created this scope. Here will be your username, and here will be the title that your scope was created. And the title of this picture will be New Scope for Retention Policies is successfully created. This will be our 10th picture, and today's lecture we will complete here. Remaining, we will touch this topic also in the next lab, next class. Just a little bit, it's a lot of more things we can add, we can study in it, but whatever we will be able to study in our time, we will do that. But at least one or two topics quickly I will like to add into the next class also. But class is not completing yet. We have yet almost an hour and a short break. Then after that we will start again, and then we have to complete our 4 steps of the today's project. Today a little bit more slides for the project. There will be 4 pictures only, but I will explain the whole process for you guys, and then you guys can create your 4 slides for the 4 pictures for the project for today's part. And we take a short break. Let's take a 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break. Let me ask the students, and then we will complete our project. Let's take just 5 minutes break, and then we will come back and we will complete the steps of the projects. 5 minutes break. It's 9:09. So let's say 9:10. We come back at 9:15. So 5 minutes break, but we will start at 9:15. So I'm stopping meanwhile the recording,